Real students, I know that sometimes these teasers can run a little long, so this time I asked my buddy behind the camera to cut me off at a nondescript amount of time. And in that amount of time, I'm going to give a brief synopsis of the film Baby Driver. No spoilers, I promise.
Ready, and go!
Okay, so we know that the title of the film is actually a nod to an old Simon and Garfunkel song of the same name, but music actually plays a bigger part throughout this film. Our hero, Baby, was actually in a terrible accident when he was a kid, so he listens to music as therapy. He carries the reminders. He has different iPods that remind him of different times in his life. And his most powerful memory is actually that of his mom, and through music it seems like he's communicating with her, like he's saying, "I'll preserve your memories. They're all that's left of you." But we learn that Baby, while he's a great getaway driver, is actually a little socially awkward. In fact, he doesn't fit in with the other criminals. Who cares, right? But most of them, when they meet him, they think, gee, wasn't he a peculiar man? Eventually, Baby meets a kindred spirit, a waitress named Deborah, and he falls in love. He's smitten, his cheeks flush with the night. He sees angels in the architecture, spinning in infinity. He's reborn. And it's perfect timing when he meets Deborah because he really wants out of the game. So he tells his boss, Doc, "I'm out." But Doc's not really listening. A man hears what he wants to hear and disregards the rest. Baby tries to be strong. He says, I am leaving. But the fighter still remains because his loved ones are being threatened. But in the end, Baby gets...
I'm getting groceries!
Oh, well, not now!
What do you want from the store?
I don't know, parsley, sage, rosemary...
And time!
Damn it.
How you feeling?
Groovy. Why didn't I edit out that grocery bit? It seems like it made it longer. Weird. Segues nicely into my first little bit of criticism, and that is for the first time during an Edgar Wright film, I found myself looking at my proverbial watch. It wasn't a long film, but it felt long to me, and I think that's a result of, for the first time during an Edgar Wright film, I didn't really know where it was going. That works both against and for the film. It works against the film because, like I said, I felt it was a little too long. I felt like the film took 2 steps forward and 1 step back. It wasn't always progressing. But one reason it worked is that word that I almost never get to use in reviews: originality. Now, arguably, I say it works against the film, but really, it could work for the film. Now, I thought that it didn't really progress, that I didn't know where it was going or how it was going to end, but how can I punish a film for originality? How can I punish a film for keeping even me, the movie guru, interested and guessing? Even though I kind of hate Wright for that. The story, or the narrative, wasn't even the most original aspect of the film. Now, to no one's surprise, an Edgar Wright film is already known for its amazing soundtrack, but in Baby Driver, the use of music and sound was something completely different, something I had never seen before. I've even taught classes using Wright's use of diegetic and non-diegetic sound in some of my media studies classes. Time to put the school in real school again. Diegetic sound is sound where you can see the source, or at least know where the sound is coming from. Voices from characters, or other sounds that objects make on screen. Non-diegetic sound is sound where you really don't see the source, a narrator's voice, the mood, music, or score to a film. And in the past, like in Scott Pilgrim, Wright has learned how to blur the lines. You'll see something on screen, you'll hear a sound effect, but it's not really the sound effect for something that you see on screen. It's incongruous. The result is often fun, interesting, comical, and, as I mentioned before, original. Once again, like he did in Scott Pilgrim, Edgar Wright in Baby Driver blurs the line between non-diegetic and diegetic sound. He's one of the only filmmakers I know who actually does that, specifically in the gunfights. The gunshots actually fit the rhythm or the beat of the music you hear at the same time, and that just shouldn't happen. One is diegetic and one is non-diegetic, and yet it works beautifully. He also uses film beautifully. He's the only one I know who can actually bring you into a world visually, specifically by blurring the line between the reality you should see and the cinematic reality you do see. Perfect example is Baby often has dance sequences, and when we hear the music that he's listening to, we also see the lyrics to the song in the background, either as graffiti or a sticker on a lamppost. See, and that's the best thing about Edgar Wright's filmmaking and his editing style. He just likes to play with things. I love that in specific scenes that would otherwise be filled with exposition, he uses silence or music. It's only visual information because it circumvents verbal information that can simply be implied. And we also see that in his editing style. He doesn't have to go A, B, C all the way to Z. He actually gives his audience credit, which a lot of filmmakers don't do these days. He knows you can go A, F, R and still fill in the gaps. One of the only other real criticisms I have for the film is there were some gaps in terms of the characters. Now, that's not to say that there weren't some tremendous performances or characters. Kevin Spacey, for example, was amazing. He was funny, he was intimidating, it was a great character piece, as was that handsome man whose name is synonymous for Toilet Pig, Mr. John Hamm. But Toilet Pig's amazing character performance aside, I felt that just most of these characters were flat. And then I thought, maybe that's actually the point, especially with romantic leads Lily James and Ansel Elgort, whose name is actually Norwegian for, Toilet Pig, what are the odds? See, those two characters specifically are cinematic homages to the James Dean era of filmmaking. They're almost archetypes. The handsome rebel, the love interest. They're not full-fledged characters on their own, but together the cast really works, especially Elgort and James. They're very charming. And the cast all being on the same page is the sign of a great director, having a vision and bringing everyone together. So much, in fact, with so many aspects within the film that shows this, that I think it's the first time I've ever done this on Real School, where the director, Mr. Edgar Wright, gets the for the win. And here's the craziest part of the review, even crazier than Toilet Pig. Baby Driver is not my favorite Edgar Wright film by any stretch, at least in terms of entertainment value. However, it is tremendously crafted. It is brilliantly edited, and most importantly, it is original. In fact, it may be the first rhythmic action musical ever made, and how do you not give a film like that and earn it? Poll question, what's another movie that uses music brilliantly? As always, leave your answers in the comment section below. Last chance for my Spider-Man Homecoming giveaway courtesy of NerdBlock. Don't miss out on your chance to win a monthly block full of awesome nerdy collectibles. All you have to do to be entered is subscribe to Real School, follow me on Twitter, and tweet one of my videos with the hashtag RealSchoolHomecoming. And the winner will be announced in about a week. So until then, and until next time, school's out. Hey Real students, thanks for watching. If you want to subscribe to Real School, click that round Real School logo right beside me. Also click that damn notification bell so you're aware of all of Real School's new content. You can follow me on Twitter, and of course, if you get anything out of Real School, you can always give a little back. Just click the link in the description below or the button down there, and you can become part of my Patreon team.